In this video, we're going to show you how we used Iron Orchid stamps to make it look like it was hand painted. We used the stamps as kind of an outline, and then we just painted inside the lines, kind of like a paint by number, but it just looks hand painted. So you get your Iron Orchid stamps and make your own signs. And then for this sign, we did a one-time use stencil and Iron Orchid Designs transfers on the ends. And the first one is a wedding sign, and this is for a nursery.
Yep.
So you can do anything with wood and some stencils, stamps, Iron Orchid products. Just get creative.
Yeah, we do have fonts, several font shapes in the Iron Orchid stamps if you don't have a Cricut cutter to cut your one-time use stencil. And there's stencil letters too that you can use. So there's other ways to do it. I'll put a link in the video of how you can even use a copier machine to hand paint a sign. Okay, right here we used...
I think we used faded burlap.
It is the most perfect tan.
It's like a tannish, beigeish gray. It's actually perfect. And then
yeah, crinoline would be more of a cream color with some yellow warm tones, but this faded burlap is just the most neutral tan.
And here's us stamping. And then what's neat about Iron Orchid stamps is they have a mask. So we put the mask over the first one, the first big sunflower, and then put those to make it look like it was behind it.
It's a game changer. You really need to try masking. Here's the wood was real rocky and rough. So we just, I kind of took just a permanent marker and filled in some of those lines, and it worked really good.
I didn't know you did this with Sharpie. And when I was watching this, I think that is such a good idea.
It worked great.
Fill that in with porous items that you're using.
Yeah, because the clay paint, it just dries really fast. And so the ink normally takes 24 hours to dry, but because it was on the clay paint, I could just move along just right away.
And you can even use a detail brush and just dip that in the ink or on the ink pad and fill in any gaps. If you don't have a Sharpie, then you can do that.
Right here, we're just, measuring a little bit to get this letters. We have a grid line mount if you buy the Iron Orchid fonts. So this is just how you can make your one-time use stencil. You guys want to see a video, just put it in the comments and I will show you my little Joy Cricut cutter. It's not the big one because I like to use all my products I sell, so I don't need the big fancy one, and it really, really works good.
Yeah, we can go into amazing detail and show you guys how to use the Joy. We've figured out we can use tape on the edges to get it centered and level, and it really helps.
Yeah, the painter's tape helps. And then you just pick out the middle. Oh, it's so fun doing
relaxing.
These. I love doing these. And if something doesn't come off right, you just take a little, I've even taken a toothpick, dipped it in my paint, and been able to touch things up. So here it is drying with the, I believe I did. I put the big top on it to go ahead and seal everything. And then I painted. I had so much fun doing this. I would make myself get some of my work done, and then I would sit down and just enjoy painting this. I didn't even let Caitlin do it. She was so busy with other things.
One thing we've started noticing is on DIY paint, since it's water activated and the top coats are water based, we use a sponge to tap on the big top onto the letters so that the letters don't smear and you won't have any blurred lines or anything.
Yeah, because sometimes if you don't go ahead and seal your dark colored letters carefully, it reactivates. Yeah, I've made a mess. But even with that, you can just take some paint and just paint around it, and it's fine. You can hand paint this without your stamped image being sealed, but it glides a little better, kind of like when people paint canvases, they use something called ganache or something like that. And so it just helps give it a good base to flow more. Right here, we're using some of the Painterlies. This is Glow Up. It is the best ever to highlight, just make things really contrast and pop. So I used the Fire Starter. I used Queen Bee. I used Liquid Sunshine. The blue is Hey Sailor, and I mixed it with a little bit of black just to deepen it a little bit more navy.
It's so fun painting in the inside the stamp. It's also very relaxing.
I did a canvas with just this big sunflower to say you can make your little kids or anybody, you can just have a party and put a stamp on there, put it on the canvas, and sit down and paint this together. It's really relaxing. We'll put a link in the description box to some of the past videos that we did.
Yeah, and we even did mix some with water to do like a watercolor look that turned out really well.
Yeah, and then I just took like where I would accidentally go over the black line, the black ink, I would take a dry artist brush and just kind of go over that black line, and it took it off and it just showed more. Or you could go over the whole thing with some markers, if you wanted to sit and do that, make it even more intense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a hand painter, so I really don't know a lot about shading and all that stuff. So I'm just kind of learning as I go, and there's no right or wrong. Nature has a whole bunch of variations of color, so it's just fun to kind of blend and mix. And
For this sign, we used transfers, and this is from Iron Orchid's latest release. What's nice about transfers is they have grid lines, so it makes it really easy to cut out and place your image. Since we're putting one on each side, we could make sure they were roughly the same size by using the grid lines. And you basically peel off the white part, and once you peel that off, this image is sticky, and so you put the sticky side down on the board. You don't want to touch it with your fingers or it'll lose its stickiness. And look how easy that's coming off. So you use this clear stick, plastic stick that comes with the transfer, and you just rub it over the side or the smooth side of the paper, and it just starts to come off. And one little leaf wasn't wanting to stick to the board, so we just put some glue on it on this little detail brush and brushed it over the board, and then it was starting to stick. And so then it's just get all the image off, and you peel up that paper or the plastic, and your image is down. With Iron Orchid transfers, you want to make sure that whatever you're putting it on is sealed, so it goes down smoother. The only thing you wouldn't have to seal before putting a transfer on is windows or mirrors, because that surface is already smooth and ready. You just need to make sure it's clean, and then you can start putting your transfer down. But everything else needs to be sealed first, and then you'll have to seal your image after you put it down so it doesn't peel back up. If you like these videos and you like any of our other content, don't forget to subscribe and like and follow all of my social media pages that are linked down below. All the products we use in all of our videos, the products are linked to my store, and you can purchase them to recreate your own signs or any project we've done.